Oh, yes.
Just loosen up.
There's a list of questions to ask, thought-provoking questions that you can ask people who you've just run into, you've just met. Something that, as a conversation starter for if you're going on a double date and your partner's invited their friend and their friend has a partner and you got to sit there. Apparently, this is one of the best ones to ask. So, gentlemen, allow me. What is the meaning of happiness in your life?
Jesus.
What?
What is the meaning of happiness in your life?
The meaning of happiness to me is hearing Winter smile.
Oh, hearing a smile?
Hearing Winter smile.
That's crazy.
You worked that out. You worked that out, all right? Hearing Winter smile, because some of you guys haven't felt that yet. And some of you guys haven't enjoyed that yet. There's levels to it. There's layers to it. And sometimes I like to listen to him.
Smile.
Yeah, I was good.
All right, let's get into it.
Play On in partnership with BNZ.
Play on. Lamborghini.
What up,
What up? Shaun Johnson. Aguero. It's over. Pass is intercepted at the goal line. In your life, have you seen anything like that? Elliott hits it up into the grandstand, and New Zealand are in the World Cup final.
Play on, play on, play on.
Welcome back. It is another week of the Play On Sports Show brought to you by YOUKNOWMEDIA. To my left, brand new Fox journalist right here. Weekend in the sea, Shaun Johnson. OG over to my right, professional indoor netball player. Catch him on Friday nights.
I'll take it. I will take it.
How are we feeling, man? Shorty, I want to talk to you first about obviously the Fox debut. How was that? I'll be honest with you, you made for it. There's a whole bunch of nice comments coming back. I think the posture, you can relax on the posture, but if I'm critiquing the posture, everything else is good.
Yeah, the feedback has been very much somewhat overwhelming, if I'm being honest.
Right.
But really cool to see that people enjoyed my take on things or what I saw, and in that manner, because I won't lie, I was a little bit nervous. They run a pretty slick machine over there at Fox.
It looks like it's a whole different story to say rolling in here where you casually just do what you want to do. You kind of converse on things that you want to talk about. For them, what was the big difference? Some of us who have not been into such a large environment.
And don't get me wrong, Matua, I very much love coming in here, and this is a very cool space to be a part of, but it's just a completely different dynamic. They've got multiple studios. The production is just so big. Man, you should see the screen, the pure size of the screen that wraps around the back of the panel desk. It's impressive. And I could just imagine you walking in there. You would proper it, mate. But their machine, like I said, is so well oiled that you walk in, they control and they sort of bring you in when you can. So it's very much just me offering my insight into what I'm seeing, what I'm feeling, and from a different perspective, from a perspective of actually playing against these guys not too long ago, where the other panelists are sort of, a couple of years retired or even a long time retired. So we all have different points, and I didn't necessarily agree with everyone's points. They probably didn't agree with mine.
That's good. You can't agree with everything.
Nah, and I actually felt a little bit awkward at one point. Let me just share this little bit, man. I was like, oh, Lord, have I just mucked up in my very first... Brandy was sort of speaking on the Cowboys being unfit. And he said it a few times, and I was like, man, I've been on the other side of the tally, and I've heard these comments, and I've always been like, no, you can't just say that. So I'm sitting there biting my tongue, and I'm going, oh, do I say something? Here we go. Yeah. Then I've gone, yeah, well, look, I don't necessarily agree, that trying to do it in a manner where I'm not going to get kicked off or, get called out.
You want an invite back at least.
Yeah. And I just said, look, and I offered a bit of perspective into maybe why they looked unfit. Which is, I feel like the bit of commentary and a bit of panelists, being on the panel that I feel like I can add to. Because sometimes I hear throwaway comments and I'm like, you can't just say that.
Pull them up, brother.
He's unfit. Well, no, he's played NRL and he's 78 minutes into a finals game, playing in probably the fastest game of the year. Hello. He's not unfit.
You don't like this comparison. I saw JJ Redick-ish sort of a vibes, just on the ability, and no one can deny the credentials. So they are going to listen to what you say, but it is on the ability to go, hold on, They might be tired, but here's the reason
Here's
that they
the
are
reason
tired.
why.
It's the side we don't hear very often.
And to Matua's point, I did get an invite back.
Yes.
I did get an invite back. I'm not going over. I didn't take them up on it because I need some family time, but I did get the invite back. So I must have done something right.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Okay, about that.
Yeah.
just keep on keeping
Chipping
on.
away.
Let
Chipping
them,
away.
let them want more.
Can
I'll
we
tell
hear,
you what, I
more,
watched
can we
the
hear a
whole-
little bit from you guys, though? What's this indoor netball stuff, Matua? Just a little quick touch.
Really quick one. So I've found out that the local St. Luke's indoor netball courts, it's actually cheaper to go on a Friday night. And
Marc,
I
don't tell your story. Don't tell that part, bro.
It's only $45 for a round. But I'm thinking. So my nieces are now all of the same age as my daughter. They're all at that age where they can just start playing. Like they're not big enough to take on adults, but adults tend to go a little easier on them. And a Friday night, most of the people who are still trying to prove something in life, they're all out doing things in the bar. They're not there. So I've entered a team, and my mother-in-law, her name is Layla, and so I shortened that to Lay, and it's now our team's called the Layups.
Oh,
So yeah, put there.
Don't give them that.
I don't mind that.
Yeah.
That's the wrong sport.
I don't
The
mind that.
layups.
Nah, you still see it,
You
though.
can still see it
Come
in
on,
netball.
still
see it.
Thank you, Shaun. Some proper experience being talked about here.
Call
Probably
them
why you got the
Lay-Lows.
invite back.
The Lay-Lows.
However, it's.
Tell them about the text that you sent about your niece that shouldn't go to netball.
I didn't have to send that one. I don't know that. I don't need to share that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun. It's just getting the family all involved in something that's not.
Love that.
Yeah, that's not
Love
drinking.
that. Brooke,
and
quickly
eating.
from you, Brooke. What's going on this week?
Actually, I'll give a shout out. You might have heard the worst story that I've ever told on TMS, but I didn't really shout out these girls. Shout out to the Black Ferns Sevens girls. They had
Yes.
an Olympic celebration
Ooh.
a couple days ago down in the Mount. Those girls, they're just the best.
Yo.
You know, they walk around with a smile.
Yo.
I think you can always look at them and go, yep, they work their tails off, but they have fun doing it with their sisters. I said this on TMS as well. They say don't meet your heroes. Go and meet those girls.
Yo.
I've never heard, and boys, you can justify this one. I've never heard a bad thing said about them, and I can't say anything bad about them right now.
Yo.
They are the
Perfect.
best. So shout out to those girls for hosting us.
Yeah, the girls.
down in the Mount last week.
Busy show today. We've got plenty on, including Brooke. You've decided to.
Well, I
put us
didn't
into a
decide
battle.
this. I didn't decide this. We decided this on the fact that I think it's very clear that there are decades that are better than others, and the 2000s clearly reign supreme. Now, I didn't want to bring this to the show.
Better at what? What do you mean decades better than others?
Marc, you gotta leave something, right? Leave people wanting more.
That's going to be a little interesting segment, that one, I reckon.
I just think it's very clear that the best athletes ever produced were in the 2000s. Now, you two think something different. We're gonna talk over that, which I can't wait for us to sink our teeth into. What you got for us, Shawnee?
Yeah, Shaun. What, you were super popular last week.
No, I know, man. What about that
Just
for
go,
a
"No,
response? What about that? How good is it just being loved?
Universally.
So I'm
loved.
back. I'm back for another little round of Shaun Hub, ladies and gents. So I'm going to break down a little something I saw from you from the weekend, and yeah, we're going to have a bit of fun with that.
Shaun Hub's great. What you got for us, Marc?
I'm a massive fan of the game around the game, and collecting is a big part of the game around the game. Collectors, I'm going to bring you the first of the Collectors series, the process behind Shohei Ohtani's $1 million baseball after he joined the 50-50 club.
He might be the
Sounds
GOAT, that boy.
confusing. Let me break it down for you a bit later on in the show.
Honestly, he's been telling me about this guy.
Yeah.
That boy might be the
No,
GOAT.
I might be related somehow.
Oh, no, yeah, you will be. And we're going crowd surfing as well. Love the questions that we have in there. Jump into the show?
Let's do it. Let's kick off with fifth and last. Of course, the sports headlines from the week. And let's start with the All Blacks. Back-ish? A win to win, and winning the final quarter of rugby games has not been easy for the All Blacks this season, but they managed to hang on against the Wallabies on Saturday night to retain the Bledisloe Cup, 31 points to 27. The two teams play again this Saturday in Wellington. Oof. Wellington, of all places, to
Crazy.
throw that up.
Ooh-wee.
On a side note, gentlemen, South Africa, the team who we've all been going, wow,
Yeah.
look how good they are at finishing games. They missed a penalty late and lost to Argentina. So the championship is still alive, and Argentina will now travel to South Africa to see if they can snag one off the world champs.
Outside the X's and O's, Shawnee, the big thing has been closing out games is that final quarter. I think the All Blacks win the first 20. They've got the most points in the first 20, the second 20, and the third 20, and then they're dead last in that final quarter.
It's a fitness thing, isn't it, Shaun?
No,
what I'm trying to get at,
no. This was a little bit different. And I watched this, I was getting ready to do the panel work, but I watched this with the Aussie crew at Fox Studios. And
Thank God you won.
Bro,
we
I
won.
was a little bit outnumbered in the room, but we had a couple of boys go to the bin.
At the very end, yeah.
Yeah, so like this one was a little bit different, and I thought they did extremely well. Like a couple of massive efforts at the back end there, big defensive plays, really big defensive plays. So I don't need to talk about fitness, and I reckon for the Bled, NZ versus Oz, take form out of it. This was a big win for us. This was massive. We did exactly what we needed to do, and we won. We retained the trophy. So who really cares about anything and everything outside of it? I'm looking at it from that point of view. I was stoked they won because it is big. But I just think, Aussie this, Aussie, who cares? Everything goes out the window when you got NZ versus Oz.
You've got to hold them to account, Sean. That's the rules
Nah,
of sports
I love
broadcasting.
it. Stoked for them. Hopefully the crowd shows up for them this week.
Yeah,
Sold
they
out
should.
already, baby.
Whoa,
Wellington
okay.
sold out.
Haven't they been trying to sell this game for some time?
Yeah, you leave that.
Anyway,
It's tough down in Wellington at the moment.
Anyway,
You go easy on my
NRL
people.
prelim finals are set. The Melbourne Storm will host the Roosters for a chance to place off in the finals on Friday night at 9:50 p.m. The Roosters started out the gates early, of course, in both halves, leading 20-4 in their game to get through. And the Penrith Panthers face up against the Sharks at Accor Stadium on Saturday night at 9:50 p.m. The big dance, who makes it to the finals? Sean, another one of those ones where it was finishing late, and getting out to big leads early, which seemed to get these the Sharkies at least and the Roosters into these games.
Yeah, the start's so important. So important. And we touched about it with the Roosters playing that power game. That's exactly what they went out and did this week. The bullies
You said they want to
went
bully.
back to being the bullies, and they got away with it. Sharkies, similar. Really sharp first half. Obviously, bit of a glitch. Credit to the Cowboys, made a game of it. And it actually got a little bit dicey there for a
Val
second.
Holmes looked good, didn't he? in the
Oh,
second?
he is smooth,
He was
bro.
so good.
He is so smooth. So smooth. So I reckon no silly buggers this week, but no silly buggers. Let's not try to dress us up, all right? No controversy here. I think we know who's going to be winning this week, meeting in the GF next week.
Absolutely, I agree with you too. I think it's been a two-horse race the whole year, and it is the best time of the year. I think if anyone has a chance, Shawnee, tell me if I'm wrong, because I probably am, but I think the Roosters have a chance.
There you go.
I don't think the Sharks have a chance.
Nah, that's my boy Brook right
He
there.
learning.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, boy. 100.
I like
Got
that.
that one right. I got that one right,
He's seen the attention you've garnered from
Damn,
breakdown
imagine Sharks
analysis.
go out there and put on a clinic and me and you are sitting here
You're
and
like,
they clip that
"Oh,
on us.
And of course, AJ downed by Dubois. Boxing is, generally takes a back seat in the moment after the prominent UFC sort of charged the door down over the last 10 years. But all the highlights on social belong to Daniel Dubois, who floored Anthony Joshua in the fifth round of their IBF heavyweight title fight in Wembley Stadium. Sold out Wembley.
96,000's crazy.
It's incredible watching some boxing. Dubois now gets to have a shot at the winner of Usyk and Fury. That fight happens on December 21st. I'm going to be the first to say this. I don't want Usyk being the world heavyweight champion, of all the bouts. And I'll tell you why.
The unified.
He doesn't look like the heavyweight champion of the world. And I'm part of it. Call me shallow, but I thought Anthony Joshua looked like the kind of guy that you could point to when the aliens landed on Earth and went, that's our heavyweight champion.
Yo.
Go take him on.
To that point, though, I want Tyson Fury to be the champion, and he don't look like he should be the champion either.
Oh, it's so fickle. But
That was such an interesting fight. I didn't know. I'll be honest with you, I didn't know too much about Dubois, but I watched this fight. Outside of AJ probably losing he definitely lost the first four, then giving it a go in the fifth and getting clocked. What they did as a production, they did it so different than the UFC. It was just a party. They had an hour gap in between the co-main and the main where they brought out Liam Gallagher. They had the music blasted the whole time.
Oh, mad.
Joseph Parker was obviously part of the commentary crew, so they're jumping around. Joseph's always talking about how loud it is. He's never heard anything louder. They make a spectacle out of it.
Yeah.
They know exactly what they're doing. And I don't think you can replicate the UFC. Let the UFC do what the UFC's doing. Let boxing do what it's doing. And they showed that on the biggest stage of them all, man, they can play with the big boys.
That's it.
So shout out to them. I don't know. All I care about is what's happening with Joseph Parker. Who does he get to fight?
Is he there or thereabouts now?
Oh, he's there. He's there. Not thereabouts. He's there.
I saw he was wanting the winner of this, wasn't he?
He did want to, yeah, and he certainly said he wants Dubois. Has said in the past he wants to fight Daniel Dubois, but I think most of the attention right now is on the Usyk Fury fight, right?
looking
And
forward
poor
to it.
Joseph is kind of
Dubois will
back
get-
a bit.
I think Joe is one fight away from getting that fight.
Does Joe maybe get AJ then?
He's had AJ and lost to AJ. I don't know if anyone wants to see that either.
I think
You know
Joe
what I mean?
could potentially get Usyk. He will never fight Fury. But if
That's probably his biggest downfall, is saying he never wants to fight Fury.
But it's been also the best thing for him to get back into that camp.
True.
And we've seen how he's gone. So it's a catch-22, isn't it? It's interesting what happens with Joe, but I hope he wants to fight this year.
Imagine that, though. Parker, Fury, when families fight. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a real good marketing campaign.
His voice needs to be. Do that again, Marc.
No, you go.
That was great.
You go on, Code.
That was great. I want to give a shout out to Lydia Ko. I'm just keep this one quick, but Lydia less Ko is always the way.
What?
She is the absolute best, and she's third on the ranks at the moment.
Yeah, that don't mean nothing.
But the way she is playing, incredible. She's just won another title. So she's won. She won the Olympics. This is the last 3 months. She won the Olympics. She won the British Open, and she just won her latest title as well, which is absolutely incredible. She wants to stop by the age of 30. But all I wanted to do in this moment is just shout out Lydia Ko for just being on such a heater at the moment. She was down 2 going into the final round, ended up 23 over, I think winning by 7 or 8 shots. Just absolutely incredible. I would love to have her on the show. I don't know how we possibly make that happen because Shaun owes her $1,000.
Well, I mean, we don't need to get her on for that purpose.
No, because that would be the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life is you giving her $1,000. The fact that she wins so much money and her partner's a billionaire.
That's scary.
But she's absolutely incredible. So I just want to do a quick shout out there to Lydia Ko.
Love that. I've got the Breakers. Now, they've just started their campaign down here in the NBL. But if you didn't know, they're getting ready to hit the States. And this is where it gets really fascinating, especially for like your casual basketball fans like myself, to see a local product go over to the big stage and play against some NBA teams. So we got the Jazz, we got the Thunder, and we got the 76ers.
Yeah.
All right. And when
three.
it really hit home, bro, was when I seen the poster of the Sixers, and they got Embiid, they got Paul George, they got Maxey on that bad boy. So, bro, like, you could probably offer a little bit, like, for the boys that play down these ways, if you get the opportunity to go take a game up there, take 2 or 3 games up there, are you trying to, like, really ball out, or are you just, like, still, like, trying to play it cool and just do roll in the team?
I always hear 2 stories.
What are we doing here?
I always hear 2 stories. So the
Is
imports
what
are
Brook's
obviously...
doing? Or
Yeah.
what?
I want to know what Brook's doing.
What I'm doing is going for gold.
You are.
I'm
You're
getting the
get your
first
one-day
5
contract.
shot ups. The first time I get the ball, it's going up, and then we will go from there. But I've seen mixed reviews, I guess, or mixed outcomes from the guys that go over. Like the likes of Tom Abercrombie, who his goal once he got to that point of the year where he was playing these NBA guys, it wasn't to make the NBA, but he still had moments. Marc, I think you might be able to remember that Jaren Jackson.
Jarrett Jackson
dunk.
Jr. Bad.
So he made Sports Center. You know, like, so there's wins along the way, but then there's also guys from, like when LaMelo Ball came over, they went back over and played in the States, and he's obviously going to be a part of the NBA, but it's a part of his stocks now. Where do I sit? Alex Starr last year, who ended up being the second overall pick in the NBA to the Washington Wizards, he was a part of the Perth Wildcats. He had a huge game while he went over there. So I don't know if it's necessarily about the team at that point. It's more about guys having an opportunity, or guys being able to come to a podcast and tell a story about the time that I dunked on Jaren Jackson. So there's 2 conflicting sides of it. But what it is huge for the NBL to have that NBA times NBL poster, logo, collab. So
there's a real lack of ego with this whole thing, right? Like, there's a real lack of ego in terms of the NBL recognizing that the NBA is the prime product, and that we're willing to have teams go over mid-season. When I say mid-season, you know, the Breakers are going to miss round 3 and round 4 to partake in NBA preseason games. Now, this is just the preseason for NBA, but the amount of I guess, self-recognition from that league to go, it is better for us to have our franchise teams going over and playing against NBA teams than actually partaking in our regular season.
Yeah.
That would be a big pill to swallow for most organizations. I don't think you'd see it. I think it's quite progressive from the NBL.
Very progressive, and also feels like, I say this in the nicest possible way, but maybe the sting has gone. There was a point where this, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, became the thing. Yeah. The NBL's breaking through to the NBA. They almost marketed the whole NBL season around them going over. Now it kind of feels like the NBL is going so well, it's just a part of the season, which is amazing for the NBL. It's on a heater at the moment too. Breakers will be interesting this year. There's very few Kiwis in there. Wins and losses might
I did say I didn't necessarily like that, but we will definitely be following them as they take on the
Always
States.
for the Breakers.
Let's go Breakers.
And finally, in 5th and last, the AFL GF
happens
this
weekend. That's our team, Marc.
They are. This is the weirdest
What we
thing,
doing?
Shaun. So from back in
Wait,
the
you
day,
guys are Lions, right?
I'm Lions.
So sure, this is it. The story goes like this: Brook comes back from a weekend with friends in the Gold Coast, was it?
Yeah,
and they're all in a bars watching this AFL.
No. It was the Warriors were playing at the same time.
Yes.
I went over to the Gold Coast. I went to see my family, but I went to catch up with one of my friends. He said, "Let's go to the sports bar." I said, "Of course, Warriors are on." We go there. I promise you, 40 plus screens. 39 of them are playing AFL in the small corner over here. We're watching the Warriors. And I go, in that moment, oh my God, the AFL is a huge commodity.
Yeah.
New Zealand, I don't think we understand how big it is. I'm also kind of watching, one eye's on the Warriors, one eye's on the AFL. It's exciting. Like, it's a good brand to be a part of.
Yeah.
I come back, I say, we got to get a team. We do a quiz. Marc ends up with the Sydney Swans. I end up with the Brisbane Lions.
Wow.
And now,
Yes.
fast forward to today, and the AFL big showcase event is this Saturday. Two teams who
Marc,
will be fighting
we
it out.
this.
The White Hot Sydney Swans
And
taking on the Battlers, the Brisbane Lions.
The red Brisbane Lions are.
This is strange because it's 1 versus 5. The storylines are basically, the Swans are who the Swans are. They've looked like the championship team the whole way through.
Yep.
And then you've had the Brisbane Lions who just can't.
Scratching and clawing
Yeah.
our way
Yeah,
to
but
the
they're
top,
backing
baby.
off. They've been good for a couple of years now.
They have.
They're backing up after a big year last year. Just fell short.
And they've got, unfinished business.
Target on their back, baby. So, hey, they've done well to get to this point.
Do you have a team?
Well, so this is funny that you guys are saying this. But like I said, I did dabble in AFL as a kid.
You did.
And when we went to Oz, I bought a Sydney Swans Guernsey.
Oh,
Yes.
But as
for
I've gotten older, I always started to support. The other team was the Brisbane Lions.
that's my vibe.
Yeah, so
So pick a side.
Who's going to win?
I think I want Brisbane Lions to win. Yeah, I want the Brisbane Lions to win because they just come up short last year. And if they could just go there and claw their way from 5th, I feel like that's a cool story.
Well, 4:30 p.m. on Saturday, we will find out.
Hey, how big is it going to be?
It's going to be
crazy,
massive.
yeah.
Katy
Hey,
Perry?
don't get me
Anyone?
wrong.
Katy Perry?
Katy Perry?
Yeah.
They play at the MCG, regardless. So you got 2 out of city teams going down to the MCG, and it'll still be sold out, still be massive.
Apparently, they're saying this is the dream final for air flights, like people paying for flights to get in and out.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is what they
Melbourne's
want.
always up,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, so well done. That's us. Let's all move on through.
Play on in partnership with BNZ. Play on.
I want to start by saying I didn't want to bring this to the show. But the arrogance that both of these two had when we started talking about it, I said, shut your mouths. We're going to do this on the show. What am I talking about? I felt like there was no real argument that the best decade that provided the greatest athletes lived in the 2000s. Now, I'm having this conversation with Shaun. Shaun pipes up, well, I don't think that is the case. I think it's got to be the 2010s. And as we're talking, Marc, you just hear a whisper from the right.
Back fence.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. Let me chuck my 2 cents in here.
What about the 90s?
90s got something to say too.
That's what
I
it
said-
sounded like. What about the 90s?
Hey guys, what about the 90s? Yeah,
That's exactly how it sounded.
Yeah,
whisper.
I agree.
And I said, stop what you're doing right there.
Let's save it.
Go home, do some research, do some recon, and let's talk about this on the show. What decade produced the best athletes? Now, Marc, you decided to dabble with the 90s. As you did some research, just talk to me. What did you find out about the 90s?
Guys, I'm not entirely sure you can fathom the gravitas of the athletes that came from the 90s. This decade, and if I'm being completely honest, I think the word iconic is misused quite often in this current generation. The 90s athlete transcended the game. They became an entire economic.
Yep.
And they kind of trailblazed and set the platform for some of the athletes you guys will be mentioning today. So I just want to say, when I was gifted the idea, when I thought about the idea of bringing 3 athletes from the 90s to slap down in this game of Yu-Gi-Oh, to slap down on this table of whatever card game we're playing here,
All right.
I'm supremely confident that I'll be bringing not only athletes, but leaders and changes of this world.
Ooh. Now, I did the 2000s.
Yep.
As I did a little bit of research on there, one thing I went through with all the numbers that I am going to talk about a little bit later, I also go, they allowed me to dream. As I look back at the athletes that were provided to us in the 2000s, a kid from Peard, seeing these guys on the grandest stage of them all. I see Michael Campbell, who's where I'm from, going up against the greats and winning it all. Against these guys, they allowed me space to believe that anything was possible. So I'm going to let you know why the 2000s provided the greatest athletes of all time very shortly.
Well, for me, I got no heartfelt connection to this game. I'm not going to shed a tear or, I guess, try spin a yarn about how I'm connected to whatever we're doing right here. I'm here just to assert my dominance and show you that there's no joke around the 2010s. You guys can get all giddy with it. Get connected. That's fine. But I think of a decade of dominance, and I just thought of athletes straight away that dominated that period without being iconic, without doing this and giving me a dream, and I see a boy from my hometown. This is pure savageness at its finest, in its finest form.
Talk your talk.
All right? So
cute.
that's all this is to me. There's no hard feelings here, lads.
Super cute.
So what I'm thinking here is, Marc, you kind of alluded to it before, is it's like a game of Pokemon. It's a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! We have rounds, okay? You put down that athlete that you have, they'll go toe-to-toe with the other athlete, and then we'll start a new round after that.
Deciding who wins this?
I think we leave that. I don't.
Who argues the loudest? Is that how we're doing this? Or are we
No. This is measured.
Okay.
This is measured.
I think we leave this
I thought
one.
it was savage though, Shaun.
Yeah.
Everybody else can decide. You know, I think it will be clear. I think most people will know. But we can leave this to socials at the very end of this. Shaun, since you don't actually care, do you want to start?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I don't mind. I will throw out first on the table. I will throw out a person who goes by the name of Bolt. I'll just go with Bolt to start, all right? So we'll get him out on the table nice and early, all right? Usain Bolt. Don't really need to go into too much detail about this bloke. And I'm not, like I said here, to pull any wool over no one's eyes. And
There he is.
you know,
There's that Shaun Johnson I know.
it's as simple as this. The bloke won 6 of his 9 gold medals, all right, in the 2010s, okay? And probably what was more even impressive about that, as he got older, he continued to defy the odds, all right? So I will not say any more. Just the best athlete we've seen in the history of the universe, of the world, of any sort of realm, did his best work in the 2010s.
That might be true. And I love Usain Bolt. I've actually had the pleasure of meeting him. Lovely guy.
Are you guys going to play your card, or are we going to spin a yarn with every name we toss up?
Lovely guy. Let me put my card down.
Yep.
You ready? Let me put my card down. He did do all that at the Olympics, and yet still not the most storied and greatest Olympian of all time. Let me talk to you about one Michael Phelps, who in Athens had 6 gold medals. 4 years later, he went to the Olympics to go and win 8 gold medals, and he won every one of those gold medals. Not only did he win it, they
Shows you
were
what you gotta
all
do.
world records. They were all world. Can you imagine that? That every time you get in the pool to compete and win a gold medal, you break a world record. That means that record has stood till the test of that time. He got in the pool 8 times and broke every record when he got in there. This man don't go to the bank. He is the bank with all the gold that he got.
Nice.
He also, hold on, I ain't finished. He also went to the 2000 Olympics because that was still a part of it at the tender age of 15. This is the stories that I've found out about Michael Phelps. He was 15 years old. He competed in the butterfly, 200-meter butterfly. He came 5th, which as a 15-year-old, you have to go, that's an incredible feat. The actual feat is there were people around him that were swimming in that race that go, you know that guy there? I can't compete with him. I have to change my discipline.
Geez, the word count here is through the roof.
I have to change my discipline,
Someone did some study.
so I am not going to be in the pool with Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
But that's cute with what you did there with Usain Bolt, but I'm
He's a swimmer at the end of the day.
smack down with some Michael Phelps.
You finished with it.
Oh, no.
Mark, who you got, baby?
I'm just going to throw down a guy called Michael Jordan.
Good. I like that. Get that one out the way.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. I guess, sure, we can talk about being
Like
the
that.
fastest in the pool or fastest on land. That gets you so far, but being successful in such a popular sport like basketball, that's one thing. I think ultimately, though, the success comes after life. A man worth $1.9 billion, Forbes magazine has said this. So the business He's transcended now being an athlete and doing so well in his chosen sport, whether it be sprinting, whether it be swimming. No, this is basketball, and now this is life. You have a man who is a businessman, and that to me,
Jay-Z.
I'm going to throw that card down. We're using Michael Jordan, 1990s. That's my card I'll play.
Love that.
Love that.
Into round 2 we go. Is that how you want to do this?
Yeah, round 2.
Yeah. You got the honours, my man.
I'll go second. I can kick off this round. Or Marc, you want to go on kick off this round? I'll kick off this round. Second, I'd like to place down one Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
15 major championships. This man spent 683 weeks as the world number 1. And I could go into all the records because we know about all the records.
Now,
we know about what he did.
Can we just pause?
Absolutely.
These numbers you're throwing up, say the number of weeks right there again.
683 at number 1.
This was purely within that span?
No.
Because here now, Brook,
Talk to me.
let's not step outside the lines here. Tiger was great after 2010 as well, baby.
He was probably better before that too, though.
And
So these
Tiger-
numbers you're
Tiger's
throwing
before.
out here, let's not inflate this by any means. You know, like let's
I'm an
stick within
inflator.
the lines, baby.
I'm a GST.
Because a lot of these athletes were dominant for longer than the periods we're talking about, but we are talking about our own periods here, okay?
Tiger won
So-
his first Masters champion at 1997, 21 years old.
Wow.
That's
That's
my era.
incredible, isn't it?
So this is what I'm
that's
trying to
where
say.
he did his body of work. Nah,
feel like part of
No,
your cards.
I'm okay
Look,
with that.
I-
I'm okay with that's not where he did his body of work, but the numbers you want to be throwing down here for this card,
I'm
let's
calling
keep
up-
them in the boundaries.
I'm
right?
calling up my accountant. I'm saying, can I chuck GST on? He said, chuck it on.
Yeah, my boy. This is your game. I get these are your rules. All right?
Okay, let's
but
not
let's
even
just
worry about
stay
that.
within the lines. Here
You know
we go.
what? I don't even need that at this point. Tiger was more than that. Tiger was for the culture. Tiger, it didn't matter if you're black, white, Puerto Rican, or Asian. Everybody. Am I wrong?
Nah, you're not wrong, man.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Loves some Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know who said this not too long ago, but they said, I'm not Tiger Woods on the course, but I'm Tiger Wish he could. And we all wish we could be as good as Tiger Woods. He was creative on the links. We wish we could wear that red on a Sunday and look good. We wish we could be at the Masters on the 16th and hit that perfect chip shot where the Nike ball is sitting on the lip and the crowd stops and it falls in. We all wish we could, but we can't because there is only ever one Tiger Woods.
Well played.
Marc, you want to go second?
Yeah, I can throw them on. I'm going to go ahead and throw in Maya Hamm, who is the most accomplished women's soccer player of all time. And the reason why she is such a massive hit, not only in the 90s, but moving forward, is that without Maya and her efforts in football in American circles, America wouldn't be playing soccer.
America plays soccer?
They do play soccer,
I
but
didn't know
that's before we make a little snigger, and laugh at what I'm saying. She's also laid the path down for women in sport in general. She brought attention in a game that was not at all liked in America, and then she moved forward with her platform and to bring more and more eyes upon the sport, which then opened up the doors for the likes of Portia Woodman, Caitlin Clark, all these people who are now professional athletes in the women's game. She made it that it was a viable source.
No.
Why do you
that
hate
was
women's
a
sport, Brooke?
I don't hate women's
Well, why are you
sport.
laughing at
Why
talking
you
over the top of
stretching?
me?
That's a
This is my card.
stretch.
This is my card I'm playing.
That's you
Maya
have
Hamm,
that. You have that.
Congratulations, and thank you for everything you've done for women's sport in this world.
I
Yeah.
appreciate you too, my ham. I want to say I appreciate you, sister. I appreciate you.
Again, guys, my word count isn't gonna be as much as yours, but I'm just wondering here, do I go Serena with her 12 Grand Slams? Or should I go Hamilton with his 6 World Drivers Champion? No, actually, no, I won't go them. I'll go LeBron. I'll just go LeBron for this one.
You can't even take Serena.
I'll go LeBron over this one. Okay? So, in this decade, in this span of 10 years, and my numbers aren't inflated, they're accurate. Okay? So, with this card, I'm playing LeBron, who has 4 rings, 4 finals MVPs, 3 MVPs, and get this. This is the doozy here. In that decade, 10. Yeah, he didn't miss one All-Star. All right? He was 9 times All-NBA first team. But, Marc, to your point about legacy and not just being about basketball, and this is really the joker that sums and probably takes us around quite easy, really. You listeners in the car, you watching us on the telly at home, the bro opened his own school. The I Promise School.
He didn't do that in that year.
All right.
He did that in the 2000s.
No, he didn't.
He did that in the 2000s.
No, he didn't. You just lied.
Mark, can you look that up, please?
I'll look it up.
I'm willing to go down on my soul. I might be wrong,
You
but
just lied.
I feel like I'm right that he opened that in the 2000s. Let me double. You want to talk about inflation? Let me just. I'm happy to be wrong.
2018.
Yes.
So deep into the 2010s
So,
era that
guys,
this should never have been an argument.
It's not. This is
I'm willing
this
to be
is
wrong with
Brook.
that. I'm fine
This
with
is
that.
Brook being Brook, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what, Shaun? It's not even 2011. You know,
It's not.
which could be.
That's why I knew. I was sitting here so confident. He's just trying to sabotage. But at the end of the day, he
wasn't
opened his
sure
own
either.
school.
He wasn't
okay?
sure. I knew he wasn't sure.
For the underprivileged in his hometown. All right. Won't say any more. LeBron James, ladies and gentlemen.
Nicely done. All right, for my final, let me throw the card down early. I would like to throw down a man that we all know in this country, but actually everybody knows worldwide. I throw down the genetic specimen that is Jonah Lomu,
Oh,
the first and only real-time rugby global platinum status star.
talk your talk.
An athlete that sparked interest in the game beyond the traditional powerhouses. 6'4", 120 kgs. Pukekohe's local legend. Just an Adonis that transcended the sport, that left this world and left rugby in a much greater place than he came into it. And I would like to just nominate him as being probably the reason why the All Blacks have succeeded moving forward with things like Adidas. He became the first
Yeah.
Adidas-sponsored athlete.
Rugby move forward.
Not a lie
Rugby,
was told,
I'm on
Marc.
board with you, Mark.
And ultimately, you ask anybody still, who is the greatest rugby player of all time? It is one name that comes out of their mouth.
Yeah. Jonah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, and now if there's a bit that's going to make me feel half bad, is I don't want to toss up. I don't even want to play a card if you've just played Jonah.
That's tough to follow, isn't
It is.
Yeah.
It was like, let's not take no shine off Jonah.
Because I agree with everything Mark said too.
100%.
Yeah.
And that is a great card to play. You may have just trumped us, but I will, for the sake of the game, throw up my last card.
No, don't, Shaun. I liked it when you said you
I'll
didn't want
just throw
to.
it up just to leave it for our listeners and for our viewers. All right, so last up for me, again, this is all based off, unlike others in this room, this decade, 2010 through to 2020, and the body of work this athlete has put together. That athlete is Messi.
Yeah.
Messi. Let's just run through this quickly. In this span, 2 Champions Leagues, 6 La Ligas, 5 Copas, 2 Club World Cups, 3 Euro Cups, and 6 Super Copas. But this right here is where it just gets so dominant. It is purely just put to bed, really, guys. I do feel bad for this next bit. We have 7 Ballon d'Ors in that 10-year span.
Ooh!
7. Now, people want to talk about Ronaldo, the competition they've had, but in this period, the 2010s, Messi had 7 Ballon d'Ors. He had 6 Euro Golden Shoes and 8 times La Liga MVP in this period alone.
Wow. That's impressive.
5 times he was the champion's top scorer. Okay, so this guy has dominated that decade for his sport and for a sport that's often regarded as the world.
Yeah.
It's the world's
biggest sport in the world, yeah.
It's the biggest sport in the world.
I mean, has he, I don't know, because this is a genuine question, has he surpassed Maradona as being the I guess the glory child of Argentinian football yet?
I definitely think.
'Cause, I mean,
and
that
again, we're
question's
biased,
there, you
right?
know what I
We're
mean? Yeah.
biased, right?
Recency bias, right?
I think when he brought the World Cup home for Argentina,
That surpassed
that
anything
was
Maradona
really
did.
just cement. That was just.
We've seen the
okay.
images, right?
Yeah, and that. It's just crazy to think, hey, like he's at the top of his sport. You know, just like there's other athletes in the top of their sport, but just the scope and the scale and pure numbers of how many play, and then just to see these numbers 7 times Ballon d'Ors in that 10 years alone.
He the GOAT, bro. I'm with you. I love
How do
Messi,
you
bro.
even argue that, bro?
He the GOAT.
Come on, Messi. Stop mucking around. But anyway, that's my card.
Okay,
You know, Messi.
finally, I would like to put down one final card, just because I kind of have to. I was like, is it Floyd? Because Floyd was absolutely incredible. We talk about the numbers, but I can't go to Floyd. Shaun, I'm also kind of surprised you have daughters, but still didn't go with a female in this whole time. Marc, I noticed that you did. So I'll steal Serena. You didn't use her before, so I'll steal Serena.
I wouldn't do
And
that if I was you.
not even for the philanthropy, however the hell you say that word. Like, it's such a big word,
That's
and she does
crazy.
so much,
Now
I
you're
can't
making
even say
things
that
up
word.
now.
I ain't even trying to sit in it. Not even for that, or the fact that she's part owners in NFL teams, or The
Are you
hundreds
trying
of
to
millions
say,
that she's
we're trying to
donated
say
back.
phalanges? That's fingers.
No,
Is that-
philanthropy. That's the one. There we go.
And
I got it.
Are we still talking about the 2000s to the 2010s for you?
That's where she did the most of her work.
You think she owned? You think she was part
body
owner
of
of
work.
NFL teams? Like, I don't
She
want to go
bought
down
in-
this path with you, Brook. But
She
Marc,
bought
if
it
we've
in
got to search this-
2009, so I'd like to point that out. That's just what I would like to tell you. She bought that in 2009, which technically is in that bracket of what I'm trying to do
anything
right
else
here.
here?
She won the US Open, her first US Open in 1999, but who's counting?
Keep going.
Also, she's
bro.
knocking on the door about to get to
Keep going. Here we
her
go.
main body of work. I would just like to put Serena there for the body of work that she did. I know the 39 titles that she had in all. Part of those were in each decade, all right? But the majority of her work that she did lived in those 2000s. And I'd like to give that final one to Serena Williams.
Okay.
It's also hard going up against Jonah. I feel like Messi's good, but I don't know what to do about that Jonah one over there. He hit the cultural card real good.
Cultural card, well played. And like I said, I ain't going to dog on Jonah any time. I'm just here to play a game, and if I got to collect dubs along the way, it is what it is.
Rightio then, lads. So, round one was Bolt, Phelps,
That's
and
right.
MJ.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Wait, just before you continue with the rest, sorry. Just to your point, can you honestly say,
Yes.
no, listen to me, that it's harder to do what Phelps did than it is to do what Bolt did?
What, break a world record every time you get in the pool?
No, like in
That seems
back-to-back
pretty hard to me.
Olympics and stay athletically, like physically, running-wise, the fastest man in the world.
He did it, but he got better every time he did it.
Yeah.
Usain Bolt didn't break world records. when
Okay,
he went
boys.
and did it.
No.
It's not about that. We are banking this. This is for the. This is
Marc,
for
we're
the,
getting somewhere here, Marc.
This is for the people to decide.
See, you're lucky.
You're lucky.
This
No, you're
is
lucky.
for the people to
Sorry,
decide.
as you were, Marc.
Yes.
Round two, yes.
We are banking that the people can decide exactly who is winning. Round two,
My gosh.
Tiger Woods, Maya Hamm, LeBron James.
Happy with that.
Yeah, that's light work for me.
Round three, Jonah Lomu,
Yeah.
Lionel Messi, and Serena Williams.
Well, we know who's out of the race.
Oh, Jonah.
Oh,
So at least-
yeah.
But nah, yeah,
I
I'm
would
happy.
never Jonah
I'm
the
happy
goat.
with the cards I've played, boys.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the
Yep,
cards I played.
Let's leave it up to.
The people can decide.
Yep.
Who is the best decade?
Play on in partnership with BNZ.
Play on.
Oh, we're back. We're back, and we had to be back, really.
Break it down now.
We got to break this bad boy down, team, and on this week of Shaun Hub. Is that what we're running with here?
We're running with
Absolutely,
it,
brother.
because we all get excited by it. This is your hub, but you know, you guys can fill in the gaps.
All right.
I don't get the reference. What are you talking about?
Nah, I'm happy to run with insight, Shaun Hub, whatever you relate to. But I'm going to pull this one from the Roosters v the Sea Eagles, okay? And I think before we dive into it deeply, I've got to sort of, I guess, put into context the situation and probably why I really appreciated this play. So this is 30-odd minutes into the first half. And what had happened before this is Carey and Sandon Smith had just continued to kick to the corner, like you do. Okay, so finals is all about where you finish your sets and where you want to apply the pressure. Brook, you got something for me?
Yeah, so I always have there's clearly a game plan, and like you just said, you're kicking to that corner. Are you hoping for a mistake, or are you just trying to wear them down?
Nah, it's, again, like I touched on last week, death by 1,000 cuts, boys. All right? You didn't build Rome in a night, they said. Right? So it's all about just how many times can you put it there? And it almost becomes a game a bit of like, you'll break before I do. So what you look for is either an error, great, a try, even better, but three, like them trying to come up with something new off their try line because they're sick and tired of being put in this spot.
Over and over.
Over and over. So, Matua, should we play this out? Let's play it out. Do you want me to let it run and then we'll bring it back just so we can all have a watch?
You tell me.
Let's do that. Let's play this out, boys.
That's glorious. Tedesco.
That is glorious.
Tedesco's back there. It's
Okay, so it ends in a try, all right? Now, take it back to the start. Let's just break this down. Let's talk through this real quick. This is play 5 from a short field position on the field. And what I really appreciated about this is that I know for a fact that Carey and Tedesco would have been talking about running this on probably the last 2-3 sets. So before this, they put it in the pocket. They put it in the pocket. They still see the same look. So then they get together and they go, we're running it next time. Now, the thing with defending this, right, is when you've got a flyer like Tupou out on the wing who's so good in the air, as a defending winger, you want to be standing back there and getting your best run in to try get up and compete for this ball. Okay? Systematically, defensively for the Sea Eagles, this winger should not be back there. He should be up on the end of the line defending the run first. It's a short field position. So we often say that the easiest place to score a try is through less passes. So you take that away from the defense, from the attack, sorry. So the winger should be up on the end of the line and you leave that kick to the fullback to sort out. But play this out a sec. Pause. So what we have here is the winger, one, got his assignment wrong because of Tupou and the threat that he poses. And on the flip side, you've got an attacking machine who is very eyes up, very methodical in what they're doing, that Carey and Tedesco have gone, we're running. Tedesco hides himself on the inside shoulder and pops out late to make that defensive read for Garrick, who's at centre here, so hard. He sees him last minute. You've got a guy like Suoliti leading that hard, you've got to protect inside shoulder. Play it out. Boom, pause. So that winger right now, he should be making this tackle on Tedesco if he's in the correct system, doing his job correctly.
But he's remained back because of the kicking that's been happening.
He's remained back because of what Carey's done the 3-4 sets previously. So he's sat back there going, he's just going to kick it to me again. Oh, Lord, I got Tupou coming down on me. All the best, mate, all the best. So what do the Roosters do? Them tricky, sneaky Roosters. They go, bloke, you stay back there. We got something for you. Boom. Nice little block play. Tedesco sums it up perfectly. Play this out, execute, 2-on-1, and it's just a simple finish. Now, from the naked eye, you're watching that at home and you're going, man, that's a cool try, well done. But when I'm watching it, I go, pause, I go, one, how saucy is the no-look pass from Carey?
Yeah, it was tight.
Yeah, how detailed is the line from Tedesco to start from his inside shoulder and pop out far enough that he's catching it outside the lead so it's no obstruction? And then three, the mindfulness, again, team, the art of it all, after Carey has just gone, kick into the corner. Bloke, you're back there again. Here you go. This is after 30 minutes of doing that. This didn't happen in the first 10 minutes, the second 10 minutes. This happened 30 minutes into the first half, that they finally got the look they were after. And what do you get from it? You get a try.
You know what, Shaun, I have to be honest. This is me breaking down this play. I'm looking at that going, yep, mean. Oh, whoa, oh, wow, look at this. Wow, yeah, woohoo. Like, that is literally all. I have no idea about the setup, the mind game that's being played, the constant pressure to keep them, trying to be creative off their own line, trying to work off their own line. Like, that's incredible to hear. That's a
training ground play? Like they do that during the week?
Yeah, so the thing is, that play there, right, they probably ran, that's a play they would run tackle 3, tackle 4 from a similar field position, okay? But sometimes the best time to attack is last play when everyone's thinking just kick. They're just going to kick. And because of Tedesco's start position, that winger didn't have any other thought. He thought he could cheat the system. Hopewadi thought he could cheat the system and just remain back there to deal with what was the main factor was Tupou in the air, right?
Kick, yeah.
So that's why this stood out to me. Hope that made some sense and you got a little bit of insight. And yeah, maybe we'll be back again this time next week.
Break it down now.
Play On, in partnership with BNZ.
Play on. Welcome on in, gentlemen. It is the weekend sports menu. Let's see what you'll dine on in the weekend of sports. And we'll start with the entrees. AFL Grand Final, 4:30 p.m. Saturday. We've mentioned it already.
Give me that, brother. Give me that.
Or perhaps you'd like some NBL action. Breakers playing on Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Round 2, Breakers hosting Southeast Melbourne Phoenix.
Man.
And if you can hold on for a little bit longer, the entree, this one will take a while to get out. It's Wednesday. It's next Wednesday, NPC. All right, Ranfurly Shield, gentlemen. Look at Auckland.
What? They're getting a crack at it?
They're gonna try and take the Ranfurly Shield off Tasman, bring it back to Auckland, and then hold it forever, and no one will have any interest in it again.
I'd like to send out just a SOS to Aki. I'm giving you a week advance. If you win this, behave yourself, all right?
Holy.
Can you imagine him?
Imagine Aki if he wins this.
Yeah, no. Behave yourself, buddy. And saying that, I would please like to have one AFL Grand Final there, kind sir.
Yeah.
Can't wait for this to be the first game I watch all year.
Yeah. I'm going to go the Breakers. Yeah, I'm going to start getting behind our Breakers now.
Nice.
All right.
BNZ Breakers as well. Our
BNZ
friends,
Breakers, yes,
at BNZ.
please.
Yes, indeed. All right, main course. And gentlemen, NRL prelim finals is on. Friday night, 9:50 p.m.
Ooh.
Storm taking on the Roosters. And Saturday, 9:50, Panthers taking on Sharks.
Yeah. I don't even want to hear the second option. I'll take that, please, sir.
For your friend in the other seat, perhaps he might like the Rugby
Please.
Championship.
Thank you.
We got 7:05 Sky Stadium in Wellington, All Blacks taking on the Wallabies, and then all of a sudden a game that actually matters on Sunday at 4 a.m. in Mbola Stadium in South Africa as the South Africans host Argentina in the final.
I'll grab that Rugby Championship only because I think I know who's in the final already. I think it's a given in the NRL. I think it's going to be Storm and Panthers. So
Okay.
I'll grab the other two. Also, shout out to Argentina. I love South Africa. They're a fan favorite of mine, but
Yeah.
I hope Argentina win it.
I've
man.
got a feeling they're going to get a hiding this week.
So do I.
Argentina.
But I hope they win it.
Yeah. But hey.
And moving through to desserts, we hope they win it, but they're probably going to get a hiding. Desserts, WXV gets underway this weekend, and the Black Ferns will be playing Ireland on Monday at
girls.
3 p.m. Very watchable time. That's available for you in the desserts menu. Also, the Black Caps tour of Sri Lanka continues Thursday, 4:30 p.m. That's tomorrow. Today. Test 2 gets underway after a loss in the first test. And then, of course, Heartland Championship, 2:30 p.m. Saturday. Poverty Bay hosts Thames Valley.
Can I use our Frank, please?
Are you going to use a Frank? What?
Can I use the... Don't just play the Frank thing.
What do you
Bro,
want?
this is the 7th week that we've had Poverty Bay on our weekend sports menu. They can't win a game, but you persist that they... I know what I sound like, Poverty Bay. I'm sorry, I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at Marc.
You know
Give
what?
it a break.
I'm with you, lad. You know it's like having a fruit platter. It's like having just a fruit platter on a dessert menu. Don't do it.
Right. We don't need it.
No one's ordering it. Get the message.
Get the
Guys.
raisins out of the muffins, brother.
The beautiful thing about NPC and Heartland Championship is, and why it should still be the main product from NZR, is that you can never lose the roots.
No, they've lost
You've always
every
got-
game.
But hey, they haven't lost me. I'm still a Gizzy boy. Poverty Bay looking to put their
Can I bank it?
unwinnable
I've had enough
record.
of you talking about it.
Okay, well, you know what? You can bank that as well.
Just to
Thank you.
stop it, please.
Just-
Yes,
just to
thank
stop.
you. That's so good to have that there for us.
Glad we kept those at the end.
No, we needed them. Hey, can I ask a question around the cricket? What's our go with it? What do we reckon? Do we like the test? What's our chosen format? Because this is test, and I've never been able to wrap my head around test. If we were to choose a format, where are we going?
It is for the retired. They have more time to watch the test than us. I would go 2020. It's just,
Over
quick,
the one day?
easy impact. It's 20 overs. I want to see 6s and 4s.
Yeah. Marto?
Some of my friends are dating 6s and 4s.
Oh.
Nah, I'm joking.
Whoa.
I'm joking.
That's why you're hard to love, my bro.
Oh, Virgo.
It's the
my bad.
Virgo right
That's
there.
The Virgo, man.
So, do you play golf?
Yeah.
Okay. Do
Love
you you know is it links rules where you don't get to hit where you can hit from wherever if you go off the fairway and stuff? What's the difference between a links
So
course and
sometimes links course, because they got a hell heap more sand. Usually in bunkers on traditional courses, you can't ground your club. So you can't, if you're hitting out the bunker, you can't ground your club to line it up. Whereas links courses, they often allow you to because they deem it as like just waste.
Yeah.
So that might be, there might be some golfers listeners that are going to say you're wrong. Well, I don't care. But like,
I guess
that's
the
my
format.
That's how it works.
Well, no, but what I'm after is like a traditional sport, like a real traditional sport like golf, and how it's always been that way because it's that way, right?
Yeah.
And that is what test match cricket is to cricket lovers.
Yeah.
They love the drawn out, the lengthy process, the mind games, the 5 days out in the field trying to grind out a win. Like that to them is the whole thing. It's not about 6s and 4s or anything like that. So I think what we're dealing with is the traditional lovers of the game of cricket sit in that pocket and love the idea behind the grind with the whole thing. Whereas there'll be some next generationals and especially the 2020 likers who are just like in for the quick slam.
little piss up.
Yeah,
Little rowdy rah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely in the 1 day bracket there. I'm the 1 dayers. Yeah, where it sort of offers a little
Get in,
bit of
get
both.
off, get out.
You know, like you sort of got to play it out further enough to have a bit of suspense at the end there, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you still get a little bit of mixture of a few sixes and a few fours. But I always just wondered, I'm like, man, what is glad you sort of touched on it, because I didn't want to offend anyone with that. But I was like, what is the attraction around a 5-day test match of cricket?
You get yourself in trouble with the cricket-loving public for not. But good luck to the Black Caps.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's what we're all choosing for dessert. 4:30 p.m. That test gets underway today. Test 2 against Sri Lanka. Very reasonable time clock as well. That's
Shout out
us
to Ravindra.
for another week, guys.
Yeah. All right, go Messi, eh? Make sure you comment. All right.
Lambrongini. Look at the speed! Shaun Johnson! Aguero! It's over! Pass is intercepted at the goal line. In your life have you seen anything like that? Elliott hits it over the grandstand! And New Zealand are in the World Cup final!
Play on, play on, play on, play on.